Hi, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in again. This is part 2 of the video about the Flying V 7-string I picked up a few weeks ago. If you haven't seen part 1, I'll link it up above now and it'll be available in the description. When I last left you in the last video, I was cleaning it up, so it ran a little bit long, so I've had it for a few weeks now. I've had a cold, so I haven't been able to film anything. My daughter's been quite ill, so I haven't been able to really do anything until now. So I've just come up with the idea today of doing a list of pros and cons of the guitar, because there's not really much information out there about this guitar at all. So here we go. So con number 1. The fretwork isn't the best. It's, as I sort of alluded to in the last video, the guitar is in pretty much in the condition that it came out of the factory in. So the fretwork is as it came out of the factory. It hasn't been crowned properly. I'll throw in some footage so you can sort of see. I mean, it doesn't really affect the playability. I haven't had any trouble setting it up because it just wasn't set up at all when it came out of the factory. Con number 2. The nut isn't the right size for the guitar. Again, I'll throw in I think I took some footage in the last video, and it seems to be common for all these guitars. The 2 other examples that I've managed to find online, they both have the same problem as this one. I don't think it's the same one. I mean, they're rare, but I don't think they're that rare. Con number 3, the machine heads rattle. But whenever you play the open B string, the low B, the low B machine head rattles. I mean, these are the Epiphone deluxe type of tuners. I don't know if that's common or whether it's just because of the resonant frequency of the low B is that of the inner workings of the machine head, but it's another con. Con number 4. Neck dive. I've been told that is actually quite common for Flying Vs, but then this is as it is made of carina, this is a very light guitar. But then you've got a pretty hefty neck, and I believe it is a mahogany neck, not carina as well, as I've been reliably informed too. So it really does sort of dive. I mean, if you sat down, it doesn't really make much of a difference, and if you are stood up, you can prop the lower wing of the V up against your leg if you're soloing or anything like that, so it does stop it from moving around, but still something of a con. Con number 5. This is really bad, but I sort of wish it was a natural finish so you could see the carina underneath. So obviously it's a 7-string. Most 7-strings are supposed to look mean and dirty because it's supposed to be really for metal. But still, it would have been nice to have seen a natural finish on these guitars. So we've done the cons, now on to the pros. So pro number 1, it's awesome. it's a 7-string Flying V. I mean, what can you say against that, really? Pro number 2, it plays really well. Despite what I've said in the cons, like the nut and the fretwork. It plays really well. The neck's nice and slender. You get fantastic fret access. Well, I mean, it's a Flying V. You're going to get fantastic access. But I mean, it definitely is a pro. Pro number 3, the rosewood fretboard is beautiful. I put the fact that it's an ebony finish on the cons list, so it wouldn't be fair to put something cosmetic in the pros. This is a fantastic bit of rosewood, one of the best that I've seen. Super dark, but you can still see the grain in it. It's beautiful. Pro number 4. Despite the fact the electronics aren't the best and they're not the fantastic pickups, it sounds really good. I mean, there'll be some playing of this at the beginning, and hopefully I'll put some at the end of the video as well, so you can sort of hear how good it sounds. I mean, despite my playing, but yeah, I'll let those sort of speak for themselves. And pro number 5, the vintage accents on this are really nice. So I mean, you've got the Clusen style tuners on the peg head. You've got the sort of string through 50 sort of style tailpiece, and we've got an ABR1 sort of style bridge. It looks fantastic. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a guitar snob about sort of bits and pieces like that, but I do like the sort of original accents to be on the guitars. So I like them to be as they were designed. So I mean, despite the fact this is a 7-string, I mean, I like that it has the vintage sort of accents on it. I've put one bonus one in here, sort of a pro and a con. It's super rare. There's, as I sort of said before in the previous video and in this video, there's not many of these around. The only bit of information I've managed to find about these are on 2 sales of these guitars, one a few years ago and one earlier this year. And there's one sort of small article on like a Epiphone wiki page. I'll link it in the description. There's just no information about them. There's no sort of information about how many were made. There's nothing about. The only reason I know for certain what woods these are is because of the Epiphone, the Epiphone article I found. But it's getting back to the point. The fact that it's super rare. I'm very conscious when I'm playing this guitar that I'm not knocking it and nudging it. Like other guitars, you don't tend to have that sort of, you don't have to be precious with them if you're trying to play them. And I mean, I'm a player rather than a collector. So a lot of times I'm very conscious of making sure that I don't knock this because it would kill the value of the guitar, because it's a fairly valuable piece of kit. Okay, thanks for watching these videos. I doubt anybody really wants to know my opinion about these guitars, but there's not much information out there, so I thought it'd be good to sort of document this one, put a bit more information out there if you have the chance to pick one up. I would suggest picking one up, maybe not in mint condition like this one, because I do feel quite precious about this. I may end up selling it on because I like to have guitars that I can play. If you like the video, please consider leaving a comment and a like, and maybe even subscribing. I'm going to try and put out more content in the next sort of going forward, so I'm going to try and maybe do a couple of covers with this before I sell it on. So if that's of interest to you, I doubt it, but if it is, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Open B string, the high, or the high, the low. Start again. Do you mind? Yeah, I'm going to have to put an outtake reel on this now.